scenes here. There we are, live here with my dear sweet sister, Connie. I'm so excited. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our monthly networking for We the World. We are here to discuss what we can do together that we cannot do on our own. And Connie and I were just discussing that there's really nothing that we can do without each other. So it's really beautiful to know that we can have these conversations, that we can have these opportunities together. And monthly we come together, and everyone is welcome to come in and to discuss what we can do together that we can't do on our own. And we're going to discuss the 3 I's that make a we, which is to inform, inspire, and involve. And so this is what we'll be discussing. We're really gearing up for the month of March, which is going to be an entire month that is dedicated to women and to bringing the message of equality and dignity and treating women as equals. So this will be the whole month of March. We will be having a town hall that will be featuring many of the panelists that will be men and women discussing how do we continue to have a new narrative? How do we continue to look at what we have right now and have a new narrative of, like what Connie said. I love what she said. She was raised to believe she's a human. She's not less than a man. She's not more than a man. She is a human. And Connie, before we go on, I'd love for you to just give a little backstory about who you are, and just for people who might be just tuning in for the first time to know you, and anybody who's tuning in for the first time to know me. I'm Karen Palmer. I am the coordinator for We the World's Women, Allies, and Families. We have an incredible lineup of wonderful things happening. I will share about that in a little bit, but right now I'd love Connie to share. I love what she shared with me. I had childhood programming that made me believe that I was inferior to men. So most of my life, I was continually swimming upstream, showing my worthiness and trying to prove myself as equal to men. Now, Connie, when I mentioned this to her and asked her if she would be a panelist for us, for our town hall, was very beautifully explaining to me that she never had that issue, that was never a belief for her. And so I love that I've had so many conversations with so many women throughout the years, that there's so many of myself that are very similar stories that I had. And we want to discuss that. So we're going to go deep into that in March. But Connie, please tell a little bit about yourself and the work that you're doing, and such an inspiration you are. And then just a little bit about your own childhood and how you really did have different not limiting beliefs, but beliefs in equality and seeing yourself as equal to men.
Well, hi, Karen. It's so much fun to be here with you. We've met in person and enjoyed each other several times, which is a big treat to be together here face to face and heart to heart, but it's also great to be in person. So so I'm Connie Baxter Marlowe, and I'm co-author of a book called The Trust Frequency, 10 Assumptions for a New Paradigm, which is very relevant to the conversation. And I'm also a facilitator in our online course called The Dance of Souls, the Relationship Revolution, with the R in parentheses, Relationship Evolution, which is even more relevant to this discussion. So Yeah, I live at Sunrise Ranch in Loveland, Colorado, and I do a lot of work on the founding of this nation, the first 50 years of peace and friendship, the syntheses between the Europeans and the American Indian that gave birth to the American mind and spirit and democracy, the spiritual beginnings of this nation, which is huge because we're just so enmeshed in the genocide and all that without going to the true founding and the true vision of this nation that was indeed a spiritual vision that we could become what this nation promised, which is a true democracy, a true bringing of equality, freedom, and abundance for all. So we are very involved in doing just that at this time, shifting our understanding of the founding of this nation and what it's up to each of us to facilitate us becoming that promise. So it's up to the US of A, us. Anyway, so let me just say, as far as feeling equal to men, I've just always been there as far as, yeah, I'm just me. And I never played men for sexual purposes, flirting and being something other than just straight on, hi, how do you do? I'm Connie, nice to meet you. And I've just had an extreme resonance for the male heart. And I'm going to be speaking about such matters soon with Clay Boykin, who does a podcast for the compassionate male, because I just have an incredible resonance for the tender male heart. And and I would like to say that from our construct on the nature of the universe and our dance of souls, see, we each come in for our journey to wholeness, for our journey to self-love and self-acceptance. So I might have been raised in the same family. I might have been a twin sister to someone who took on from the same upbringing less than, oh, I can't be as powerful, because my father was very powerful, but he was a total supporter of me and my abilities. But my twin sister could have said, oh, he's so powerful, I'm just a girl, I couldn't do that. One takes on things that one's soul came to take on for our journey to self-love. So I didn't come in for that. I came in full tilt boogie. I've got lessons, and I've been in the dance of souls with my husband, and now Andrew, who co-wrote the book with me, The Trust Frequency. But so we've all got stuff to work on. That just wasn't one of my things to come to work on. It was just, I can't do that. I'm a woman. I'm a girl. I can't do that. So, I always played center forward on the hockey team, and I played center in the basketball team, and I was this. It's just not my personality to be less than. So, and I truly believe it's a soul's journey, and it's the work we came here to do. So there's no shame, no blame. It's just to go inside, deep inside, to see the less than, deep less than perceptions one has of oneself, and to bring that into the light. One can blame it on the programming, one can blame it on childhood, whatever, but truly it's what we came here for. Our soul actually magnetized that behavior, brought in that behavior for this journey in this life walk. So it's really a beautiful way of looking at it, so that ultimately we come to gratitude, and we move from victim to beloved, to know that we're loved by a conscious, loving universe, that the whole universe, everything that's ever happened has happened for us, not to us. And look where it's brought you, Karen. You've just been such a beauty, and bringing so much love and connectivity, and in your outreach to the female heart, and all that you've done. So that really puts you on a trajectory to be of service
Yeah, and it's interesting how you brought that up, because it was interesting when you were speaking. I was thinking, when we blame our programming, or we blame and we use shame and blame and guilt, it's all a distraction just to keep us from being our true essence and our true self. And so the ego thought system, the false thought system that has been around for generations and generations, is very powerfully trying to encourage us to not listen to our inner calling and our inner voice and our inner wisdom, but to look for external things to keep us in that circle of distraction and delusion and duality and differences and disappointments. Because if we stay there, we don't go home. We don't bring ourselves back to our true nature, our true self. And so I love that. I think that's such an interesting, and I hope that that's something that people in the audience will take into their heart and think about, because the victimhood is so ridiculous when we think about allowing ourselves to look at things in a different light and a different way. We can see that, like you said, everything was for us, instead of seeing things as something is punishing us. What I realized, and something that I realized is my own programming that I had to really look at, was that I believed that the universe was a mean God, was a mean old man God. I believed the old story, and I didn't question it. I just accepted that I was different, and that I didn't agree with what they were telling me, but I wanted to at least fit in enough so that I didn't rock the boat. And so I became addicted to people pleasing, and it became the easiest way for me to stay under the radar and not be my true self, not be, and it wasn't until the boat got rocked and I realized that I couldn't people please my way out of this, and that's the beauty of what I'm thinking of, what we're talking about here. That's the beauty of where we wake up and we realize, I'm in this dream of separation. I'm in this dream. I'm in this illusion. I've been believing this story that's not true. And I've been looking for everyone possible to use as a distraction to help me to have evidence to prove that my false beliefs are real, but they're not real. And so I love that we're having this conversation, and I do believe that we're going to have an incredible conversation on the 22nd. Also, we have a beautiful sacred conversation for just women. That's going to be with Aurora and Janet Grace. And so I want to make sure that we get that information. I'll put that all that information into the comments at the end of the show. But please, if you're watching this, please know that we will be doing a beautiful ceremony and sacred conversations for women on February 22nd, which is coming up this Tuesday. So I'll put all that information in the comments after the show. And we have, like I said, we're going to be, next month is going to be March. So we have a wonderful group of panelists that will be discussing this conversation in a town hall, and a town hall, kind of a circle, sitting in circle together in town hall format, discuss this on a deeper level. So so Connie, what kind of projects do you have going on that you'd like to share about?
Well, I just wanted to comment on, what you had said, which is really cool that you've woken and seen all this. I just want to say that in my world, there isn't a they that have been conditioning us. It's a belief system in an evolutionary upward spiral that we had to go through in the physical, because we're transmuting fear, separation, scarcity for all of creation. See, I'm a big picture thinker. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm an eagle that flies very high and reports back all that I see. That's what I was told in an ayahuasca ceremony when I was given the name Eagle Woman.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. And so there's no shame, no blame.
Right.
For me, it's not ridiculous that we've been there. It's okay. We're transmuting it. We had to go there and exhibit these behaviors and do these things and put up these systems and all that. And now it's crumbling, it's leaving, because the earth is in a higher frequency. See, it was in a lower frequency before, and we were responding to that fear energy. No matter who, what race, whatever, unless you were in a cave drinking water and meditating, every culture, every race was responding to this fear energy.
Mhm.
And so we've all been doing really nasty things to each other and believing things, bizarre things like God's this big man in the sky. I
There's a
see.
lot of,
I
and
never
the
went to
funny thing,
church.
yeah, the
I
funny thing about that is that, it's that whole us against them, is a belief system. It's a thought system. And I love that you just brought that to the light, because that's a beautiful, because if we just think there's they doing something to us, it's us against them again. And
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
really
Every
just
time we use the
an old
word
story.
they control us, they dominate us, they do this, they're keeping us here, they're la 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 la. No,
It becomes a
we
never-ending
are
story.
one. It's a never-ending story. We just take it. Okay, we had this job to do. We've done a great job. Now it's time to move up and out and shift and align with our hearts and with each other and do this work, because we have to bring it through the physical with free will. So, and everything that's happening now on Zoom, all these collectives that are coming together and bringing forth this high vibration, we're feeding the collective and feeding the universe with this
Yeah, and
higher
I wanted to
vibration.
talk about that vibration, because on also on February 22nd, this is an embracing the alignment of 2/2/2022. And a dear friend of mine, beautiful, beautiful man, James Twyman, is going to the Ukraine, and we'll be
Yay,
doing a
James.
synchronized meditation at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's 12 to 1 in Eastern Standard Time. So that's happening. And then we have another beautiful meditation that that this is all done through Unify and May Peace Prevail on Earth. And this is all collaboration. We, the world, we're all collaborating to help to bring more peace into our vibration. So he is literally going to the Ukraine, and will be singing and praying and bringing that vibration of love to the Ukraine. And so I'd love to hear your take on what's happening with our world right now on this coming up, the 22nd. This is a powerful, powerful number in numerology, and also for just the trust frequency.
Well, I'm not an astrological person. I mean,
Yeah.
all I know is there's only the coming of peace on earth and heaven on earth, that everything serves it. So whatever catalyst comes our way, and whatever anybody knows about the energies that are coming onto the planet that
Yes.
can share that with others to give people hope and trust that there's something bigger than all of us at work here.
Yeah.
I mean, so huge is the vibration of the planet, the vibration of the cosmos, all that, to take that in and trust it. See, trust the process, trust the loving universe. And you've read our book and you've done our course, the Dance of Souls, and you found it very illuminating and powerful for your life process. And so I would just say, trust the loving universe, and I just don't know the details of 2222, but I'm just so glad other people do, because we're catalyzing and taking advantage of these power times when things are conjuncting and all that. It's just so important that everybody bring their piece to the puzzle. And anybody who's dreaming a dream, getting information that's never been here before, don't hesitate to speak it and bring it forth, because there's new energy on the planet accessible. So as Nassim Haramein has said, when we tune our antennas to a higher frequency, we get more information.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what my whole shtick is. It's about shifting frequencies, and we get up and out of this whole mess. And it's time, because we've done our job. And obviously now with Zoom worldwide, the worldwide internet, we're all interconnected. I believe it's just about connecting the human heart, which is the most powerful force of the universe. As we open our hearts, we're going to shift all of creation, and we're doing it. And you're doing it, and we the world, and it's all good. So I just hope that anybody here who resonates to it, just do it, like Nike says.
Yeah. And so this is what it's saying, to embrace the cosmic alignment of 2022. Father James Francis Twyman is hosting a world synchronized meditation live from the Ukraine. Peace Troubadour, Father James Francis Twyman will travel to the Ukraine to host a world synchronized meditation with friends from the Peace School to anchor positive thoughts, prayers, and intentions of love, light, harmony, and peace to prevail on earth. Let's all hold space for Father James Francis as he finalizes his plans to the Ukraine. So you can watch all of that on Facebook, on the channel for May Peace Prevail on Earth, the Peace Pals. You can also watch it on our We channel. We will have it on. We will also have it on the Unify channel. Also, this is a turning point for women rising and uniting all over, all at once, everywhere, all at once. There will be sacred prayers of 22. Women of Mother Earth will be dedicating to unity of the human family and the end of war, beginning of global peace by 2030. And this is being also presented February 22nd from 222 to 444 Eastern Time. So that's 11:11 a.m. to 12:12. No, 11:11 a.m. to 12:12 p.m. That's Pacific time. So this is a resonance of 22, offers us a beautiful strand of connected opportunity to pray together for the unity of our human family, the building of beloved community, the medicine of pure, clean waters, respect for all on Mother Earth, and the end of war and the beginning of peace by 2030. The program will open with offerings of gratitude to the ancestors of the land, followed by prayers and devotions offered by 22 women who will pray and sing our human family and all life back into balance and harmony. To conclude this sacred gathering will be a global silent minute, which will distribute our offerings across the distance in every global heart. So, wow.
Wow. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, that's organized by Phil Lane and Janice Hall. And
Yeah.
and lots of beautiful people who've been working for so long for peace on earth. And I just want to say that I think it's really important to recognize the men who have a peaceful heart and who've worked and brought so much to humanity. And James Twyman and Phil Lane and just every man. I mean, this whole thing with the women rising, I'm just concerned about it leaving out the men,
Not at
the
all.
feminine heart, the feminine aspect of our men, the loving heart, the tender heart of our men.
That's why I when Rick asked me to organize for the women's campaign, I said I would only come back if we could include allies and families,
Yeah,
because I don't want to continue the division. I don't want to live I don't want to live in this illusion any longer. You know, I know that there's a way that we can have this conversation and really start to continue the conversation so that we have it with the men. Hello, Sherry Myers. Welcome.
yeah, it's
So,
so important, Karen, and I'm so happy that you're doing that.
oh yeah, this has been a big thing for me. Rick and I had a beautiful conversation before I came back. I stopped working with We the World for a while, and asked, just had to be at a place where it was in alignment with what I wanted to see in the world. I didn't want to add to the division any longer. I didn't want to continue with the illusion of the separation any longer. And he was very much open to that, and he was ready to hear it too. And the Charter for Compassion has done the same. And I know that Clay Boykin is a big part of that also. They have expanded to include men and boys as part of
Yeah,
women and girls sector. So it's
so
so
important.
important. So Sherry, welcome. Thank you for being here, my dear sweet sister. We're so excited. We're having this wonderful conversation. I don't know if you've been tuned in and heard anything that we've been talking about. I can't hear you.
She can't hear us either.
You can't hear us?
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
says that you should be able to hear us and that you're not muted, so you should be able to talk. Do you have speakers on?
Do you have a headset? She can't hear us. She looks very pretty.
Yes, and she's got a wonderful backdrop. Maybe try coming back in. She's having they're having some technical issues with their internet, so maybe that's just not meant to happen for right now.
Yeah, so this key piece of bringing in the men
Yeah.
and not negating them even for the past, because the systems have required that behavior.
Okay.
And of them going to work, making the corporation work, doing all that. It's a whole system everyone's enmeshed in, that they're doing it to support their families,
Right.
to make sure they keep their woman, okay, their wife, and their family, because the whole system has set up, yet who gets the girl? The guy with the fancy car, the guy with the money. Okay, the successful guy gets the girl. Okay, so this is the whole thing that women are implicit in,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned. Big
I
time,
agree.
big time.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what I mean. Like this is why we are expanding to have the women allies and families as part of the campaign, because I love what James Twyman has really, really been living how he lives. And many men, many men that that are really, really beautiful examples.
If you look at the consciousness field,
Yeah.
just go and look at the consciousness field.
Mhm.
It's predominantly men. And that's not because women haven't been permitted in it.
Right.
It's, they're there. They have a tender
Well,
heart. They're
it has a lot to do with the Maslow's,
hierarchy of needs.
yeah, because conscious men usually have gone to a certain degree of success and gotten everything that they wanted, and it wasn't enough, and then they started to search a little deeper to have more consciousness in their lives, and then they follow that thread of the consciousness. And so it's like you said, everyone is playing their part. Everyone is this dance of souls, and everyone is just playing their part. Everybody, it doesn't matter what the script is, it doesn't matter what your costume is, it doesn't matter what mask you're wearing. All it matters is that you're starting to wake up and realize you're in a play, you're in a dance, you're in this dance of souls. And that's a beautiful thing. When you do start to, I took this beautiful course that Connie and Andrew put together, and Connie, you can put that information in the comments too, so that people can get a share in joining in the Dance of Souls program. It was life-changing for me because I was so comfortable. I had become so comfortable, not as a victim, not in the victim mentality, because I had overcome the victim mentality, but in the feeling of empowered woman. And seeing that I needed to be a voice for other women, and that, we needed to gather and share and bring our power together. And so this was a new narrative that I was allowing to experience, which I feel was another false identity, another mask that I put on, another mask that I wore, that was taking away the mask of the victimhood, but putting on another mask. Again, this is where we go when we blame others, and when we shame others, and when we go and when we believe there is others.
Exactly.
So it's like we're having this beautiful conversation, Connie. That's pretty deep, what I just shared, what I just said. I would love for you to take that down to a bite-sized bite. So for somebody who might just be either in that victim mindset, might be in that victim, wearing that victim mask still, maybe doesn't realize doesn't realize that it's a mask, maybe doesn't realize that that they're not a victim, maybe still believes that they are a victim, and that they were victimized as a child, they had things happen to them, that they're still holding those beliefs. So I would love for you for somebody who's just starting out, maybe with the Dance of Souls, seeing that maybe there is some kind of a dance happening, and maybe they are starting to see the patterning, and where they are the common denominator in all their relationships.
Yeah, well, you said the word pattern,
Mm-hmm.
because when there are repeated patterns in our life, repeated behaviors that we feel of abandonment, okay, of abuse, of whatever, so that it's the universe coming and saying again and again and again, go inside. Go to see where you feel less than and being worthy of abandonment. Okay, so what we do is we say, you abandoned me, you didn't go to the movies you promised you would, and I'm never going to speak to you again. You're just like dad. I just was abandoned by family, and now you're abandoning me just like that, and I'm not going to ever speak to you again. So that instead of making that person bad and wrong, we say, oh, thank you. You just triggered my abandonment issues. Okay, what's under my abandonment issues? I am less than. I am not worthy of being welcomed and being a friend and being honored and not abandoned. So the important thing is to go inside and see where one feels less than. I'm stupid. I'm ugly. I'm whatever it is that's sitting there that wants to come out, because we came on this journey to wholeness. We came on this journey for self-love and alignment with our divinity, because as we negate ourselves, we're actually negating the divinity, with the divine aspects of the divine, because we are the divine.
And we give meaning to all of these events that happen. So like you were saying, somebody who, like a twin sister of mine, could have had the exact same experiences. And I do. My sister and I are completely different. My sister and I had the exact same experiences, and we have a completely different way of seeing the world. She sees the world as completely, she's a realist. She doesn't believe spirituality at all. She doesn't believe that there's a friendly universe. She doesn't believe that there's anything, that she just thinks that we go back to dust, and there's science behind that proves it. And there's nothing to the spirit. And we were raised completely in the same household. And I am extremely spiritual and have always had a relationship with angels, have always had a relationship, knowing that I was always safe, feeling that, that divine essence. And so it's interesting, like, that's what I'm saying. It's interesting how we give meaning to everything. And then my parents divorced when we were 10. And so I had this abandonment issue thing that happened, that I really believed that my dad had abandoned me, which he didn't. He never did. He's been in my life my whole life. And so but giving that meaning, I created constant relationships where I could be abandoned, where that was always, the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment was always kind of like a cloud hanging over and less in different, as the relationships evolved, as different relationships happened, there was less that I would allow for that experience. But that's what I'm interested in. Like, where do we start? Like, in that understanding that we are the ones who give meaning to the event.
Well, one thing I just wanted to say about when they divorced and your dad, you took on, my dad abandoned me, what was under that, okay, my parents wouldn't have divorced if I'd been okay, if I had done this, if I had done that,
if I had done better in school,
if I'd done better in school, whatever you took on, okay, there's one, if I'd done better in school, we have to look at the words.
If I hadn't always been getting in trouble.
Then they wouldn't have divorced, or dad would have taken me more often, or whatever. Okay, so that's where we go, is that place of, okay, I did fine in school. I took on that I wasn't good in school, but guess what? I was good in math, and so what if I wasn't good in English? But I took on, I'm stupid. So dad is embarrassed, and so he abandoned me. We make up this whole story around this core issue of the lack of self-love that we came here for. So there's no shame, no blame. It's not like karma or anything else. It's just we came here to process and let go of a stupid tape. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay, I'm less than. Right, that's one thing. So you're saying how to get started with this. Well, I feel that shifting our assumptions about the nature of the universe is key.
Yes.
Okay? We can't really get there without that understanding that it's a loving universe, which
Right.
is a huge leap from it's a dead, cold universe. The whole scientific paradigm that
Yeah.
your sister has bought into. Her soul's journey is something radically different from yours.
Mhm.
And so for her mind to be able to let go of that scientific paradigm is going to take a life experience, probably.
Mhm.
Universe, if her soul came in this life walk to wake up, some do, some don't, then the universe is going to give her some slams up the head, upside the head.
Some that don't want to wake up.
Well, it certainly appears that way, you know. I mean,
Some souls come that don't want to wake up.
I don't know. I mean, my
I don't,
dad.
I'm just interested. That's an interesting. I thought that we were all volunteers that came here that wanted to wake up.
Oh, I
I mean,
think,
that's just another story.
yeah, but there's I think there's different souls on different levels.
Right.
They talk about an old soul
Right. Life
that's been
experience.
around, so you have a few more things to work out, and then we don't come back anymore
Mhm.
because we've done the work. So I don't know, my dad, who I was with him his last year of life, and he tried reading the trust frequency book. He couldn't grok it.
Mhm.
95 years old. And he thought, well, I'm just going to be dying and going back to like your sister. And all I could say to him was, I think you're in for a big surprise, Dad. But he couldn't grok the trust frequency book because he didn't have he didn't have the slots in his brain to put the information into. He
Yeah.
really tried. And when
Right.
I left his paradigm in the 90s, I actually had to write him a goodbye letter because he never understood another word I said from the day I had my spiritual awakening. And because I was going to be a businessman, he thought I could be president of IBM. He thought I was really smart and blah, blah, blah. And I walked out of that paradigm.
Mhm.
And I just wrote it like, what's his name? Brother St. Francis, he says to his dad, I am no longer your son. You know
Mhm.
that story, Brother, Sun, Sister Moon, the movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
He takes off all his clothes from the rich boy, young man, and he hands his father his clothes. He says, I am no longer your son. And he walks naked out of the courtyard, right? And goes to this church and becomes a transformer for all of humanity.
Right.
But so that's kind of happened in my story with my dad. And
Yeah.
but he stayed supportive of me, but he couldn't understand.
Yeah.
So he didn't come to wake up. His dying day, he was still Jack Baxter, thinking that it was nothing there.
The I know mind. I
What is
already
it?
know all this.
Yeah.
I already know all this. You can't teach me anything I don't already know. When we get into, that's why when you and I both just went, I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's the most enlightened you can be, is I don't know. Because when we're in the I know mind, we don't have any space for any kind of light to come in, any kind of new perception, having a new way of looking at things. Like, I love that we're having this, I love that we're having this conversation. I love that. I feel like I honestly know that this is divine assignment. I knew it when I met you, Connie. I knew it when we started talking, because I know that there's something we're going to do together that I don't understand exactly what it is that's happening, but I do feel that there's the trust frequency for children is so important. And
Oh,
I do feel that there's some way that you and I have been called by divine appointment, and by an assignment. And your dad and you had a divine assignment with you and your dad. I had a divine assignment with my dad. And when my dad left his physical body, it was as if he took the chains off of me and my sister. and the chains came off of him and the chains came off of her. And then she started saying, I'm getting messages from Dad. I feel like I'm, Dad, I'm hearing Dad in my heart. And, and so,
Oh, wow.
she had this wonderful, her own little piece that,
That's beautiful.
everyone's doing their, their own
Oh,
dance.
oh yeah, absolutely.
And we dance with so many souls, and we dance with so many different, different relationships. And we dance. My mom is still here. She's still in the physical, and she still believes that that angry God that she needs to please is still what she has to believe herself too. Everybody has to believe what they need to believe, whatever is. And the thing is, my only job, my only function is to love everyone and accept everyone where they are, whatever is going on for them. I don't argue or try to point my points or share my vision or share what the angels tell me. Unless somebody asks me, I don't share what I'm sharing right now, but I used to feel that I needed to prove myself all the time. And so I was constantly believing that my job was to keep everybody happy, to prove to everybody what a good girl I am, a good, kind girl, the good girl, the good, kind girl. So you won't hurt me. I'll be kind. You be kind to me. I'll be kind to you. And it was a give and take kind of thing, And that, I think, is such a beautiful dance, when we start to see, wait a minute, I am the common denominator in this dance. With every relationship, with every person that I'm having this dance with, they're stepping on my toes. Why?
For a reason.
Yeah. Why do I have, every time we do a dance, why does somebody step on my toes?
Right. So you can ask why.
I love that, so I love that. So it's a beautiful example of, this dance with the souls,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful opportunity that we have here. So we're going to close out the show
Okay.
right now.
All right, let me say one thing.
Yeah.
I say to people, don't ever accuse me of being nice. I'll be real, I'll be honest, but don't accuse me of being nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a real mask, I realized that, actually, I mean, it's not really a mask, because kindness created me kind, the universe is kind, and it's loving, and it's generous, and it's beautiful, and I am the universe, and I am,
Exactly.
and I am all of those qualities rolled up in one. And the only belief that I needed to let go of was a false belief. That false belief was that there was some kind of deity that was out there waiting to judge me, the angry God or the devil. These two, the evil and the good. And it's just ridiculous, these stories that we believe and take, because we're good little children that are good little Catholic girls and good little, Roman Catholic, that's how I was raised, was Roman Catholic, very
I
strict.
never went to church. I think I went to Sunday school a few times. My
Very
parents
strict.
never went to church, so I never had any
I was in
belief
the
system.
choir. I was in this, I was, and from 0 to 7 years old, we don't have a filter. So we just take it in, and we just believe whatever people are saying, and we just believe what they're telling us, and we don't question it. And then, that is the brain state that we're in, 0 to 7 years old. We don't question it. We just accept that that's, what it is. We don't have a filter. And so that's why many of the religions get kids early on, so that they can do the programming, and when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and we choose our parents.
Right?
So we choose to come into the circumstances that we have. I mean, this is one of the assumptions. See, with our stuff, there's some core assumptions for this worldview. And one can say, well, I don't go for that.
Yeah.
I don't go for that, and I don't go for that, and I don't, we all have free will with what our assumptions are going to be.
Right.
So we just have to remember the free will piece. And we say we gave an overarching act of free will when we incarnated. See,
Yeah.
that's how I asked the universe, I was asking, okay, how do we resolve this determinism versus free will? And what I got was we give this overarching act of free will when we incarnate to go on this journey. We give permission to the conscious loving universe. That's how loved we are. It's all energy. It's all vibration. And
Right.
so we came in as this spectacular gift of the divine that wants all of us with this gift. It wants our gift we promised to bring to the party. And we're only bringing part of that gift because we've got all this stuff hidden in here that says we're not okay. So we're not really welcome at the party. So that's this construct, and it helped you, and it can help others.
Right.
And we just go into, okay, what are our masks? What are our behaviors that prevent us from going inside? We make the other bad and wrong. We just we annihilate the other. We go and we go away. We leave the situation. We become shy. We become retired. We become very obnoxious, in your face, so nobody else has a chance to say anything, that sort of thing. So yeah, we take people through a process so they can, as you know, and of identifying this stuff. And then it's just a matter of becoming conscious and becoming willing, because our defense mechanisms have served us so well that here we sit and we've been annihilating the other for so long that for us to say, okay, do I want to do that anymore? Is that really serving me? Yes, it's protected me. It's made me feel like I'm powerful because that person's bad and wrong and they're slinking off, feeling horrible, and that they've really hurt me.
Because of the absolute oneness, and because in truth, in reality, we are all the same, and we are one, and we have the same, we have one mind, and we have that one, that oneness, that oneness that we are. When we are hurting or trying to blame somebody else, we're only doing it to ourselves. It just comes right. Well, the law of attraction, with the universal law, it just has to come right back at us, because that's just the way that the universal laws work. So I feel like a lot of what my gift, the gift that this has been for me, has been that I've been able to clear this for the collective conscious, that I never really believed it all that strongly. So it wasn't hard for me to stop blaming others. It was difficult. I'll give you that. The situations that were being played out were very painful. But to be able to see that I was that I could, if I took full responsibility for my beliefs, that I could clear those. And that was powerful for me when I did the dance with the Dance for Souls. I really felt that I could see the dance, I could see the characters, I could see the players, I could see how it all played out. I mean, I could really see, like I was watching a movie. It was just like watching a movie.
Wow, that's amazing.
The point where I am right now is nobody's to blame. Nobody's to blame. There's no,
not you, not them,
not
not
me,
anybody.
not my husband, not my father, not any of the men that have been in my life. None of them are to blame. There's nobody to blame. It was all a beautiful gift. And
exactly. Wow.
So
Beautiful.
now I can see that. I can see that, even the situation where I had abuse, I can see that I believed I deserved it at that point in my life. I believed a false belief, and I believed that that false belief was real, and I believed it into my experience. And so I can look at it now with so much love and so much appreciation,
Mm.
even for the person who hurt me, because I can see that he was hurting, and hurt people hurt people, and healed people heal people. And
Dr. Marty Casey.
yeah, look at Marty Casey,
Yeah,
exactly.
what a beauty. She is, what a big heart in the work she's doing. But one thing you said, that we're one.
Yeah,
And so what I believe is we are the conscious loving universe. We're this oneness coming to understand itself. The consciousness of unconditional love coming to understand itself. So every experience we have, every response we have, every emotion we have, everything contributes to the evolving divine. Okay, so it's just so important that we feel the feelings, so we don't negate the feelings. We feel the feelings, we become conscious and transmute the feelings and move forward like you have. And so it's a process, and to trust the process and know we're in process, that we came to earth for a very important job.
yeah.
And that is to feed the collective consciousness with our experiences and our journey to this self-love and alignment with our divinity, so that we bring our gifts to the party, which is all of us, regardless of how tall we are, short we are, stupid we are, that we're not good in math in school, or whatever those things were, that our learning capability was different from that linear learning capability that was welcome in school, you know. So just to honor all of that and see how it served us in becoming who we are today,
Mhm.
and see what's left in there to transmute, so we can really come to the party.
With so much gratitude.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful
So much
woman you are.
gratitude. It's funny because I look back at it all now, and I just look at it, every beautiful, beautiful opportunity that I saw, but didn't realize at the time it was a gift. Didn't realize that it was a
No,
gift. But now
oh
I
no.
now that I can see, like you said, eagle eye, like I can see from that new perspective. I can really, really soar above all the
Oh,
circumstances, soaring all above all the relationships, and see that that beautiful thread that was always there, that was always who I truly am, who I am at my core, my true self, my true original innocent self, has always been innocent, has always been this beautiful, kind, sweet, loving soul that just came here to experience this.
but what if someone is to play the role of the mean person?
Yeah,
So there's no guilt, no shame, no blame there, because
yeah,
whoever we were in a relationship with that we were mean, they incarnated for that experience, so that we don't have to feel guilty that
mhm,
we played that role in people's lives. We
right.
can just go inside and say, okay, what in me used mean to make myself feel better about myself? What's inside of me that I don't love, that I have to be mean to others to put them down, because meanness just makes the other feel bad and wrong and all that.
Yeah,
So it's that dance. I mean, you're the beautiful soul who came in with the angels and with this love and everything else, but not everybody did.
right.
And so that's okay too, because that's the
Well, this is the
consciousness
dance.
coming to understand itself of
Yeah.
meaning, and
So
even,
that's the dance, right? I
yeah,
mean, that's the dance. And everyone that we meet is a divine encounter. Everyone we meet is our dance partner.
yeah, girl.
I love
Beautiful.
that. I love
Beautiful.
that. So Connie, how is the best way people can connect with you?
Well, we have a website, thetrustfrequency.net, and one can get our free ebook on that website, our Conscious Loving Universe, a guidebook on that website. And we have, and the Dance of Souls, you can access that, the Dance of Souls on that website as well.
Okay.
And we also have a website, the first 50years.us, first 50 years, first 50 years.us for our work with the founding of this nation. And Andrew has a climate project with climate restoration, and that's circularcity.us. No, that's sacredearthenterprises.us. So yeah, come and take the course and
Beautiful.
dance, understand the dance of souls and trust the loving universe.
Trust the loving universe. Absolutely. And so if you want to learn anything more about We the World, you can go to we.net and you can email me directly at Karen Palmer at wetheworld.org. And so you can email me directly if you'd like to be on the panel for our town hall, if you'd like to be involved with the sacred conversations on the 22nd. Again, that will be with Aurora and Janet Grace, and that will be at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, and that will be this Tuesday coming up. I will also put all the information about what is happening on the 22nd with James Twyman and with the Women Rising and with Unify and with Phil Lane and all the amazing, beautiful people who are coming together to co-create a world that works for all of us. That's what this is all about. That's why we do this. That's why we come together. Oh, Connie, what a blessing. What a
Yeah.
blessing. I feel so honored and humbled to have had this time with you. I feel like this was so beautifully ordained. This was just a perfect time together. So thank you.
Yeah, for me too, and how you described your experience with the Dance of Souls and your experience with your awakening is so beautiful.
Yeah, the
So,
dance, like I said, I don't question at all that you came into my life at a time when I was very much at a crossroads, very much could have gone the complete into the illusion, could have gone so much further into the illusion, could have just, made a lot of different experiences that could have been a lot more painful. And I think that
oh
I
wow.
avoided so much pain for the collective, because like I said, when I'm healed, I'm not healed alone, because there is no alone, there's all one. So when I realized that I was the one who needed to see that we are absolute oneness, that there is no question, that I don't need to prove it to anybody. I just need to be it. And I don't need to continually look for opportunities to have evidence and show people how amazing and magnificent they are. I just need to see it for themselves. And they don't have to agree with me. They don't have to believe it themselves. I thought that was my job. I really
Mhm.
believed it was my job to have everyone wake up
Oh,
and
oh, uh-huh.
everyone see their own magnificence and be able to see what I was seeing in them. And so that was a tough road that I
Wow.
chose.
Yeah.
But it was a tough, beautiful road. And it's a beautiful road that I am so incredibly grateful for all the gifts. And like I said, I feel that we are having this conversation for the collective right now, because there is no separation, there are no differences, there are no dualities, there are no disappointments, there is no distractions. When we remember who we really are, we don't have to play this game anymore, and we don't have to dance the dance anymore. We can stop having people step on our feet.
Exactly. And that's what our book, The Trust Frequency, 10 Assumptions for a New Paradigm does. It gives a construct on
Yeah.
the nature of the universe. If one takes these assumptions as absolute, it flips everything. And it's up to one, and then you get to that place, that
That's the
ego
absolute,
perspective, where
yeah.
you can look at that oneness and how it all serves and it's all good and all that. So, but it takes a shifting of our core assumptions to go beyond duality. See, go beyond right and wrong, good and evil is huge, huge. So that's the leap one takes to get to that place you're at, Karen. So it's beautiful. And where are you posting this? Where is this visible?
This is on in Facebook. This is live on right now on Facebook, and then I'll put it everywhere afterwards.
Okay, great. So it's we.
It's the We campaign on Facebook.
The We campaign.
Yep.
Okay, but you'll spread it around and share it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you directly in the Facebook Messenger too.
Okay, great.
Thank
Wonderful.
you so much.
What a treat.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for this time together. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful connection that we have here with our networking for women, allies, and families. If you are somebody who has an organization, or you're just an individual who wants to be heard and wants to bring your message out into the world any way that you are feeling called, just reach out to me. I would love to talk to you. I would love to help support you. And I know that Connie loves to hear from all the people, and please go visit her website and get that beautiful free gift, and also sign up and take the dance with the souls, because you will be so grateful that you did. You'll be so grateful. It's a gift you give to yourself, but it's a gift that you give to the entire planet, because there is no separation and we are all one. And when we heal, we're not healed alone, because we're all one. Love you all. Bye.
Much love.
Much love.
Much love. Wee.